Now, everybody's seen Webster's Dictionary, but not everybody involved in politics understands the key distinction between two very basic words that we use and interchange all the time. The words are simple and easy. And if you understand the difference between these words, then you've got a leg up on your competition in politics because you understand the basic fundamental difference in those two items. Many people understand how politics works, understands it's basically a game of math. He or she with the most votes wins. However, a great number of people don't understand that politics is not easy. If it were easy, anybody could file for office, anybody could run for office, and almost anybody would win anytime they tried it. There would be all newcomers, all fresh blood in the system. Incumbents would be voted out all the time. But these words are very different, and let's walk you through the differences in campaigns. As I said, politics is not rocket science. So the Vote for Joe campaign does not require a degree in brain surgery, does not require a neurosurgeon to get in there and figure out how to make it happen. It's a very elementary concept of adding numbers and getting the right combination of voters across that finish line on election day. However, if you're going through the campaign, you're going to have to do a very difficult thing, which is to persevere over many months, many days, weeks, and months of a campaign calendar. You're going to circle that date on the calendar, back up from there, and decide which tasks need to be completed at which time. This takes endurance, this takes stamina, this takes focus, this takes coordination between you, your campaign manager, your campaign team, your supporters, all those different components of a campaign, and it's not exactly easy because you have to go out every single day, keep maintaining that fire in the belly, and keep this machine moving forward. It's not easy, but it's a very simple concept, as we've said earlier. Moving through the campaign, it's hard to keep all these plates spinning in the air at one time. This is an old thing that entertainers used to do, and now it's very difficult for us to do it on a campaign. To keep the calendar and the timing in the proper context, to keep the people, the human resources of a campaign in the proper context of a campaign, and to keep the money or resources flowing in at a proper clip. You've got three basic resources in every campaign, and those are time, talent, and treasure, or what we call money. So if you've got the ability to maintain your calendar in a proper sense, that's your most valuable resource. You can always recruit more volunteers. Heck, you can even have a debt retirement party after you've won or lost an election once the actual election day has come and gone. But you can never, ever, under any circumstance, recoup time once it's gone. So time is the most important resource there. As we go through the campaign a little more, you'll see that you've got to break it apart into bite-sized chunks. These little individual candy bars, these little Halloween snacks that we get, you've got to understand that nobody can win a campaign in one giant burst. Rome wasn't built in a day. You have to understand you're going to go neighborhood to neighborhood. You're going to go introduce yourself to community after community, to group after group, Chamber of Commerce, Rotarians, elderly voters, senior voters, retirees, young voters, stay-at-home moms, small business owners, all these different groups and all these different factions. And you've got to rinse, repeat, as the shampoo bottle says, as you go through your campaign and do the same thing over and over again. It really is a game that goes to the tortoise. Slow but steady wins the race in campaigns. There's our Vote for Joe campaign again. Many campaigns start with a bang. Many campaigns start with a flash and a huge burst of energy. And many of those same campaigns fail to materialize on election day. If you've got the intestinal fortitude, if you've got the guts and the ability to stay focused and stay on target and see that goal and work toward it ploddingly sometimes, slowly at sometimes, incrementally at sometimes, but always moving forward, chances are you will win that race. It should flower, your campaign should flower very organically. It should be a very constant and sort of evergreen presence in your community. People should see your campaign taking place. They should see it germinating. They should see it expanding. They should see it adding leaves to its tree. They should see people being attracted to your campaign. They should see a very natural extension of you, the product, the candidate, and the campaign all throughout in a ripple form or a tree-like form throughout your community. And it all boils down to those voters. It all boils down to meeting those individuals where they live and breathe. That's why door-to-door is so important. That's why identifying these voters, persuading these voters, and then mobilizing these voters is the name of the game. It becomes tedious. It becomes a repetitious act. It becomes the same thing day in and day out. But every interaction is different. And if you can master that idea that politics is both a game and a war at the same time, and politics is an art and a science at the same time, then you're far ahead of the competition as far as meeting those voters. Once again, these two words are simple and easy. It's apples and oranges. If you understand the difference between those two words, then you understood politics at a very fundamental and philosophical human level. If you don't, you're going to make a lot of mistakes and have a lot of pitfalls that you don't need to. So brush up on what those words mean. Keep your eye on the actual goal, which is simple, and be sure you understand that the actual implementation or execution of the campaign is never going to come easily.